GearNetwork.com.
Hello once again, everyone. John Cimino, a.k.a. JC Money, here for the Gear Radio Network, welcoming you to Episode 3 of the Turnbuckle Talk radio podcast. This week, Gabriel, Soul, and Pat G are going to discuss deeper on the topic of independent wrestling, its growth, the positives, the negatives, as well as share some personal experiences from the two that they have, because they've been there for a minute or two here. They're also going to talk to Blackjack Phoenix about Riverworks Wrestling out in Buffalo, and Blackjack is going to discuss some things about Riverworks, about what led to it and his specific relationship with it. It's a good listen. You should listen. Listen in, take it all in, because Turnbuckle Talk Radio is about to start right now. This is a Gear Network production.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all shapes and sizes, it's your boy, you know what it is, Mr. Gabriel Soul in the building. Of course, we are always welcomed, always accompanied by Mr. Pat G himself. The G stands for gangster. Pat G, tell him what's up.
What's up, everybody? We may not have a death in the wrestling world this week, but unfortunately, a much closer aspect this week, especially to me and to Turnbuckle Talk. WBNY's, as we've pretty much rolled into, he was our Professor X. He was our everything. He was our mentor, our friend, Tom Connolly. You may know him as the overnight news anchor for WBNY 930. We knew him as the guy that would bring food when we were starving like no tomorrow. But he unfortunately passed away after a battle with kidney cancer. Everybody at WBNY, which was our former home, taking this loss really hard. But this show this week, I'm dedicating to him, because he was one of the reasons that I got into radio. Mm-hmm. And I've expanded as much as I possibly can. And he helped give me advice, especially towards your Turnbuckle Talk, mm-hmm. and how to take it to a bigger, better picture, everything. Mm-hmm. So it's hard knowing that he's gone. But as I said in my Facebook post, his memory will always live on. And as far as WBNY is concerned, as far as all of us are concerned, his memory's never going to fade.
Right. Well, from Turnbuckle Talk Radio, to his family and the WBNY family, we definitely send out our deepest condolences. But in the wrestling world,
yes, yeah,
in the wrestling world,
let's get back to happier things.
Independent wrestling. Now, usually we start the show off. We have the recap of all the wrestling,
something that we've done.
This weekend, I was with family this weekend.
So was I.
I had a big sleepover. I had like 9 kids in my house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a major slumber party right there.
It was kind of like a movie. It was like, the wrestler sleepover party.
Wrestler sleepover party?
The youngest one I had in my house was a 1-year-old.
Did you have to cyclo punch anyone? or
listen, if I tell you that on a recorded conversation,
okay,
then I am incriminating myself.
This is true.
So I'm not going to say anything on who got cyclone punched that night. Anyway, but I bought pizza and I made chicken, a whole bunch of stuff. I'm a big chef, cook. But there was no wrestling shows. Did you go to wrestling shows?
I did not. I was stuck at work and then with my girlfriend and her kids. So
sounds like fun.
Yeah. There's no wrestling. It was a weird weekend.
It was. Without wrestling, your weekends are like what the hell am I going to do?
You know what? I'm going to say this. Granted, yeah, I know I'm not a wrestler, but I do travel. I do work.
Right.
And it's one of them things of Saturday comes and you wake up Saturday morning and you're like, if you have a show, you're like, you're ready. You're up. You got your stuff all together. You're go. Days that you don't have shows, you wake up and you're like,
what the hell am I going to do right now?
It's like, it's a Saturday. I have nothing to do with my life.
The life of a pro wrestler is funny. Like Thomas Brewington was just talking about on his page. He was like, yo, the 18th is coming up and I don't have a show booked anymore. He just posted it. And he was like, I don't have a show now. Please somebody book me because I don't want to be in the house doing nothing.
I mean, he's like, I don't really want to go home.
Yeah, that's our lives as wrestlers or anybody in the wrestling business itself revolve around the weekends and being weekend warriors. Like me, I'm in the gym. I go to my my day job, do my day job. After my day job, I go to the gym. I'm in the gym hour and a half just about every day.
Yeah.
Come the weekend, I'm on the road.
Yep.
Friday night, Saturday, maybe Sunday sometimes, So my whole week is always planned. But whenever there's a break in that, like this weekend, it's like, what are we going to do? Like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
My kids have already accepted the fact that I'm not home. Mm-hmm. So they're like, okay, Dad's not going to be here this weekend. We're good. We can do this. We can do that. Mama take us here. Mama take us there. Okay, now I'm home. And now it's like, okay, Dad, bye. And I'm like, I want to spend time with you guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dad, we got this plan. We thought you were going to be gone.
We're like, you're gone every other weekend.
Yeah, exactly. The kids have already accepted it. So the life of a wrestler is amazingly funny, and it can get sad sometimes when you don't have any shows booked. But with that being said, with the independent scene and independent wrestler, we're going to talk about the growth of independent wrestling. Now, we touched on it last weekend.
Yes.
Or last show.
Yes.
And I think there's a little bit more depth, and this may run into different segments because our segments are going to run together probably.
Yeah.
But with independent wrestling and the growth of such, it seems like it's at a boom period right now.
It is.
From every single vet that we've spoken to, they said now is the time for independent wrestling to shine. Every single vet has basically come down to a point to say that.
Yeah.
And it's amazing right now to be young in the business and learning from a lot of these guys that are workhorses, that are weekend warriors, that are, doing it every single day. For instance, Pepper Parks, we're going to talk about Pepper Parks. Pepper Parks is a guy who is consistently in the gym. He wrestled, he was actually, wrestling as his full-time job. That's what he did.
Yeah.
He's a pro wrestler. That's what he did. He was there. You got a show Tuesday, Thursday. I'm there.
Yep.
Friday, Saturday. I'm there. He was consistently booked every weekend, and making money that paid his bills, and that's what a warrior is, with guys coming up in the business. Take his motto and utilize it, use it, see it, if you're capable of doing that. But basically what I'm saying is perfect your craft. But with the independent scene, it's a growth period now because the wrestling scene is just growing and it's getting better. It's, independent scenes are awesome right now.
It is. And it's a throwback to the days of the territories, because in the days of the territories, Texas, Florida, North Carolina, California, the Midwest, the Northeast, it was, shows were constantly going on, whether you were in New York, whether you were in Florida, whether you were in Texas, especially Texas and even Florida and the Carolinas and Tennessee with Memphis and whatnot. There were constant shows. And we've all heard it. We've all watched WWE Network. We've all watched Table for Three with certain guys and them bringing up stories about how they would leave on a Thursday night to drive to Tallahassee from North Carolina and then have to drive from Tallahassee to San Antonio and then San Antonio up to Oklahoma City and over a 5 or 6 day period and work 6 to like 8, 10 shows in a matter of 5 or 6 days.
Right.
And now you're getting back to that because, like Bob Evans said last week, he was in North Carolina. There were 11 shows going on. So right there, that proves, okay, you work one show early afternoon, you could have easily been booked on a show that night and do a double shot in one day.
Yeah.
It's just, Now is a time for everybody that's young in the business that wants to make this work for them. Get out there, learn the craft, learn who you are and who you want to be, and do the best you can. And yeah, you're probably going to take a hit financially.
I mean, you will take a hit financially, but there is no real money on the independent scene. There isn't.
No.
You know, unless you are doing this day in and day out, nonstop, you know, this is your profession where you're seriously grinding, you know, to get bookings, where you're seriously grinding to better yourself, and you're consistently working Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or just Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you know, and you are good enough to ask for a rate to say, hey, this is what my rate is, pay me. And you're getting paid enough to actually say yes, you can live off of that.
Yeah.
You know, 4 weeks, you know, and you got to stay booked as well, you know. But I forgot where I was going now.
Well, on that point, the guys, I've Dusty Rhodes has said it, Ric Flair has said it, Harley Race has said it. Guys that were in the main event made money.
Right.
Hand over fist. But guys that were like in that lower card, that opening match, they made something, but it might have just been enough to get them by for the next week or a couple of days or whatever. That's kind of how it is now to a point. Because if like you said, if you're a Pepper Parks, you can pretty much name your price.
Right.
But if you're a guy that's only 3 months in,
If you're Joe O'Connor,
yeah.
I mean, we're just saying names. I'm just, you know,
or someone that's like me, like, yeah, I'm a ref, but I can't really go and say, hey, I want this much.
Yeah, you're not going to name your price.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'll see what I can get, but it's not going to be a lot. But it is what it is. But that's the difference. If you're somebody that's got value in a name, you can pretty much go and name your price. But if you're someone that's only a couple months in, a couple of years in, you have to prove your worth.
Right, but that comes with making sure that you are properly trained, properly taught respect, you know, taught etiquette. You know, you have to learn all of these things. These are things where the independent scene will either embrace you or eat you up.
Yep.
You know, and at this moment in time, it's a sticky situation. I'm not going to say sticky slope. Sticky situation, because at this moment in time, if you look online with a lot of independent wrestling, there's a lot of disrespect right now.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
There's a lot of non-proper etiquette being used. You know, I mean, there still is a lot of people who will smack.
A lot of high school drama.
Yeah, true. You know,
to a degree.
But to another degree, there's still a lot of people out there in the business that will smack the hell out you to protect this business.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
And in all honesty, I feel as though that I am one of those guys. And the reason why I say I feel I'm one of those guys is because, you know, people always run their mouth on the internet, you know, but as soon as you get face to face,
it's, hey, how are you? How's the kids, the wife?
Completely different situation.
Because they're in front of you. They're not protected.
Right. And you know, it's funny because I'm sitting here talking about this and I'm about to continue on with it just to continue the point, but we're kind of getting away from the point of the topic that we're talking about, the boom in independent wrestling. But
then again, we always do at times just talking.
Yeah. But it's something where you get guys like right now, for instance, there's a situation online on Facebook where there is some moron who's creating different accounts and completely being disrespectful to a lot of the guys in the business. You know, and they keep making fake profiles and they're sending it to fans, and they're sending it to wrestlers, and they're saying stupid things, you know, and
they're bringing things up that don't even exist anymore.
Yeah. I mean, but it doesn't, nobody knows who it is.
Nope.
You know, so, but the point is it's childish, and You know, they can hide behind a fake profile, but as soon as they get face to face, you know, they want to shake your hand. And I'm not with that. I hate that.
No, absolutely.
You know, I truly do hate that. You know,
and I know it's a term that you've coined. I know it's a term that other people have coined. There's a lot of the 40-year vets or whatever.
40-mile vets.
40-mile vets that, yeah, they're in certain locker rooms, but to a young kid that's only a couple months in, that's rarely new, doesn't know better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he can look at somebody and go, "Oh, you've been wrestling for 19 years or whatever," and try to get advice and get the wrong advice.
Yeah,
and that's a situation right there where it's like yourself. You're trying to protect the business, but there's people out there that are in their own way just trying to destroy it.
Not even destroy it, but they're trying to protect the business in their mind of what the business is.
Oh, okay.
You know, so right now, just because I know fans are listening and like, what the hell are y'all talking about? You're off topic. We're completely scrapping the topic right now. We're just going off the cuff right now.
Yeah.
So don't follow the whole independent booming thing right now because we're on a roll. However, there's a lot of vets that feel as though, or a lot of 40-mile vets that feel as though what they have brought to the table in their time frame and in their small little 4 zip codes that they travel to, zip codes that they travel to, that they can actually bring something to the table.
Yeah.
You know, to a rookie or a greenhorn or a trainee. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, I don't personally think I can fully say I can train somebody because I know I can't. You know, I know I'm still learning. There's a lot of things that I don't know. You know,
well, Bob Evans even said it, and he's been wrestling 15 plus years.
Yeah,
he's like, I even said it. You're always learning, and he said whether you're 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, or 20 years, there's always something that you're going to learn that you didn't know.
Yep. I mean, and Flair said it best. Flair said it, you know, if you feel as though you've learned everything in the business, then get out of the damn business. You know, I mean, it's just that simple.
Yeah.
You know, at least I think Flair said it. But I mean, it's childish for the little things to kind of break up this great business that we're in. And it's amazing.
And it's hurting and then it hurts the growth too.
Mm-hmm. It does. It does hurt. It hurts everybody, and nobody notices that until it's too late. You know, this simple thing that you're doing affects this wrestler, and this wrestler gets pissed off about it. Affects the fans. Fans stop coming to the shows. Mm-hmm. Shows start to deplete.
Yep.
Shows start to disappear. Now you have nowhere to work just for the simple fact that you, as a butthurt wrestler, you know, made this fake account or did this drama, whatever it is, and it's caused all this animosity. You know, now you have no place to work and you're a 40-mile vet.
Yeah.
You know, but anyway, but with independent wrestling growing, WWE, TNA, ROH, Shimmer, you know, women's wrestling as well. Shikara.
Dragon Gate.
Everybody is looking for new talent, you know, and they're not looking at the training schools anymore. They're looking at the training schools, but they're also looking at the independent scene as well, because these kids come from the training schools. A lot of them do, you know, but they don't get that opportunity or chance to show, you know, they don't get the opportunity to show it in front of someone who can open a door for them.
Yep.
You know, like I always feel as though, you know, luck, and I said this on the show before, I always feel as though luck is opportunity meeting experience. And these kids have the experience, but they just haven't seen the opportunity yet. Yeah. So they haven't been that lucky.
And this is the thing is there's wrestling schools out there. There's a ton of them. Mm-hmm. But your name value wrestling schools are Lance Storm. You have the Dudleys. You have Booker T. Mm-hmm. You have
Kurt Hawkins in New Jersey.
You have the Monster Factory.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple others. But beyond that, you have like these secondary schools like UPW.
Right.
Like up in Toronto with Santino.
Mm-hmm. Well, Santino is I would say Santino is one of the bigger schools. He's a WWE vet.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You have these smaller schools, and this is the thing, is a lot of these bigger schools, the Lance Storms, the Dudleys, the Santinos, and that, they do have seminars at times.
Mm-hmm.
They will bring in certain guys. It's a decision of, can you get there to get seen and maybe show something that you have that someone else doesn't?
Mm-hmm.
Because, as you said, luck is opportunity meets experience.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, they have the experience, but sometimes you have to make the opportunity.
True. You have to make the opportunity, but I mean, at times you do need that one opportunity to say, "Hey, I got a guy."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like in order to get somewhere in business, sometimes you definitely need someone to at least unlock a door for you.
Oh, of course.
To where you kick the door down, but they got to show you where that door is.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, a lot of people have made their own ways and made their ways by finding their own doors. But, you know, sometimes in life, I mean, just period in general, you need someone to assist you. And there was one wrestler where I was at a seminar,
mm-hmm.
and one wrestler was talking to a WWE legend and trainer, and he was talking to him, and he said, "Hey, so tell me about your experience." And he told him everything he's done. Wrestled for about 14 years.
Yeah.
And he's known people in ROH and known people here. And he's wrestled on WCW, you know. And the vet asked him, you know, so with you knowing all these people, why haven't you gotten in contact with them?
Yeah.
You know, to, you know, get you to where you need to get to, you know, to open that door, to get you an opportunity.
Yep.
And he said, "Well, I want to make it on my own." I said, "No, you can't make it on your own. You can't get into this business on your own like that. You got to have somebody open the door for you."
Yeah.
Like, you're sitting here wasting time and you know all these people.
Yep.
You know, and when I heard that, it just clicked. I'm like, you've got the experience and you've got these opportunities, and you're not even allowing your own opportunities to help you out.
Well, that's the thing, is even in the territory days and stories I've heard, in order to get to some, like, you may have been, you were a rising star in X territory, but to get to Y territory, you needed to know somebody in said territory. And this is the thing, it's the same thing today. If you have an opportunity and you know someone and they're willing to put their mouth out there for you, put their foot in the door and try to open it.
Stick their neck out for you.
Yeah, stick their neck out. Go for it. And that's the thing. Some people just don't.
Yeah. I mean, but the thing is that with WWE, TNA, you know, ROH looking at the independents right now, you know, it's something where you have to be ready. And it brings us right back into training, being, you know, having the experience, having the respect. Because let's talk about that. If you were to go to WWE without learning respect, those wrestlers are going to beat the hell out of you.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's give it for instance. For instance, there's a Western New York wrestler who went to WWE, and he tried to, you know, I'm not going to say bully, because he's not bullied his way, but he just tried to act as though he was bigger than what he was.
Big league himself.
He tried to big league himself, and the WWE vet was like, "Who the hell are you? Get the hell out of my ring."
Yep.
Get the hell out of my ring right now. You know, there was another one who's just all around, you know, just cocky attitude and cocky presence.
Yep.
You know, and going around shaking hands, and he's going up to another guy trying to big league him and shake his hand again. And he's like, dude, I already saw you. Who the hell are you? Get the hell away from me.
Yeah.
You have to learn those steps of respect to where you have to learn when to shut the hell up, when to not move. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's times in life and in this wrestling business where you stand still.
Yeah.
I
know it's not wrestling related, but I've had opportunities to be in backstage concerts and locker rooms with sporting teams and stuff. Yeah, you shake hands, you're respectful, you're professional. But you got to know where that line is and not to cross it. Mm-hmm. And it's the same regardless, whether it's wrestling, whether it's a major sports league, whether it's work. Mm-hmm. There's a line that, yeah, okay, you can get there, but no. And some people, and yeah, I've been that line at times where I've towed it, but it's the thing. There's going to be people that will let you know that you've crossed it, mm-hmm. or there's going to be people that know you crossed it and try to further the fire.
Okay.
For their own benefit.
Right. I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think so.
Because
I don't know.
Okay. my example is this. The people you've talked about at WWE.
Right.
Okay. In the independents, say you're at a major company, like say you're at a Dragon Gate, okay? First time, second time there, whatever, you come in, you shake everybody's hand, but because you've been there once or twice, everybody knows who you are and whatnot, you try to maybe extend yourself a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And this is the thing, is there might be someone that go, whoa, what are you doing? You've only been here a couple of times. Mm-hmm. But then there might be someone else there that keeps trying to push you because they'd rather have you crash and burn so they can get further ahead.
Well, I mean, that's the nature of the beast in the business. And like I've said to a lot of other people, that wrestling is a selfish business. Unless you have a brother, and I truly do mean brother in this business. And I don't mean the Robert Ezekiel brother.
Yeah.
I truly mean brother in this business, like Eric Emanon, Thomas Brewington, like Hellcat and Rob Sweet, mm-hmm. You may have a tag team that I know that they are, they just stick together.
Matt Milan and Vince Valor.
Matt Milan and Vince Valor. They're like true best friends for even the wrestlers.
Yeah.
But I bring those guys up because I know those are true brothers. And like I said, this is a selfish business. So with that being said, I know Gabriel Soul's name is the only name that can go on the WWE contract. Mm-hmm. So it can't be Gabriel Soul and Pat G the Gangster.
No.
For the simple fact that I'm signing my name.
Yeah, absolutely.
But with that being said, that's the only opportunity that I see. And I forgot my point again. How am I forgetting my point?
I don't know why you're forgetting your points.
Because I'm rambling. I'm just talking. Listen, we're going to stop for a second. We're going to pay some bills. And that's what we're going to do right now, because the TTRP is brought to you and sponsored by the Gear Network store through Amazon. If you visit thegearnetwork.com Amazon and click on any of the banners, it'll take you right to your account. You can do all of your shopping there through Amazon. You can shop as normally as you would. The only difference is that since you went through the Gear Network link, Amazon kicks the network back a small percentage to help out with production costs, no extra cost to you, helps pay for the lights, helps pay for the TTRP, Turnbuckle Talk Radio podcast, other shows that you listen to, Get Ready America,
Talking Wrestling, Better Live Than
Dead. You get to hear JC Money's voice. But anyway, but yeah, it's independent wrestling is, to kind of wrap it up, independent wrestling is in a huge boom right now, but there also is a severe low also.
Oh, yeah. With
people trying to bring it down. So whenever you have something that's getting good, there's always a monkey trying to pull you down back in the barrel.
Yeah.
What I say to a lot of aspiring wrestlers out there right now is rise above it. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's super hard. but rise above it.
And trust your instincts. Because I'm going to say for myself, there were people that at the start that I met, when I started, I was like, okay, I don't really think you're trying to help me, so okay, fine. I'm gonna find those people that can help me.
Well, and with that being said, the company that you started with, everybody wasn't trying to help you. You know, nobody was trying to help you.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying that just to say it because I know that.
You know what? The people that were trying to help me were pretty much at the same level I was.
Not necessarily. No. And I say nobody was trying to help you because of the negative things that are said from that point to now. Mm-hmm. All that in between.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like me, you know, I've tried to help you.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know what
absolutely.
I'm saying? Like you are a friend of mine, so I'm definitely gonna try and help you. That's why we're doing the podcast still together right now, because you're a true friend. You know, so I'm trying to help you. And I've had discussions with a lot of people. They say, you know, oh, this and that, we want to help. But helping someone in the business to get better compared to saying they need to get help and then negatively talking about them doesn't help that person. You know, it doesn't. Yelling at them and saying, oh, you messed up, this and that, doesn't help that person. Mm-hmm. You know, taking them to the side and saying, hey, this is what you did wrong. It was stupid as hell. I don't want to see you do it again. But I need you to do it this way because this is the right way to do it. Mm-hmm. You know, but we're going to pay some bills.
Yeah.
Then we're going to come back with an interview from Blackjack.
Yes.
Phoenix.
And talking about his career.
Yeah.
Talking about Riverworks Wrestling.
Yeah.
Just his overall thoughts on a lot of the stuff over his 19 years in wrestling.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Places he's been, people he's met, places he's worked.
Yeah.
Or traveled to.
Yep.
It was.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you already know the rest of the intro. It's your boy, Mr. Gabriel Soul, Pat G. The G stands for gangster, and we are at another Turnbuckle Talk Radio podcast interview. Today we got a special one for you. It's kind of close to my heart because, you know, he's a good friend of mine behind the camera, you know, but in front of the camera, you know, I don't know. It all depends on, you know, what's happening. But his name is Mr. Blackjack Phoenix. Blackjack, thank you for joining us on the Turnbuckle Talk Radio podcast.
Where's the applause?
What applause?
You said my name. I have no applause. Doesn't the little guy clacking his things over there? Clacking his little gimmicks? Does he have like an applause button or something?
I don't handle that. That's you know, I mean, if you want applause, we'll see about getting applause. Pat G's pretty technical with that. You know,
I thought it was stood for gangster.
It is gangster. I don't know how
all gangsters have applause buttons.
True. You know, I mean, but with that being said, I don't know how you guys do it in Texas, but here, you know, we actually take care of business first, and then we'll add in the quirks and crumbs.
Well, I haven't been there in 15 years, so I don't know. I don't know anymore. More than that, actually.
Well, first and foremost, like I said, thank you for joining us on the Turnbuckle Talk.
Thank you for having me. What is you kids call a podcast?
Yeah, it's a podcast.
And this for the internet?
Yes, this is for the
internet radio?
For the interweb.
For the intercoms?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Let's do this. So, well, we're already doing it. Oh, cool.
So, Blackjack, first and foremost, I mean, tell me how long you've been wrestling.
It was October 97. So those of you who are good at math, please help me. It's got to be close to 20 years.
That is 19 years.
Wow. Yeah. I'm old.
19 years.
Yeah,
wow.
I started when I was 19, so I just gave away my entire age.
That just did.
Yep. And, I've been lucky enough, because you see wrestling the way it is nowadays, where a guy will wrestle for 5 years and he'll wrestle once or twice a month. Mm-hmm. I was lucky enough to start more in the territory days down south. I wrestled every day for years, and of course I was off with injuries, or there was a time, I think it was 2000, that wrestling really dried up. Mm-hmm. So there really wasn't much bookings to be had, but I always kept working hard trying to find those bookings.
Right.
Whether it took me overseas for where I had to pay my own way to Europe, but I worked every day. And, I made decent money, but I was working every day, and that's the key. Doesn't matter if you're making great money or if you're on the top of the card, the bottom of the card, just working as much as you could. And that's the thing. You gotta find that yourself.
Yeah.
It's not going to get found for you. And I did that. I'm broken down for it. I never said I was the brightest guy in the world, but but I've done it and I've lived it.
Yeah.
Here I am.
So with that being said, with you saying you were in Europe, tell us a little about that. Tell us, who'd you wrestle for, what companies, and
all kinds of
your
companies.
experiences there.
Well, my first trip there that I will never forget because it always was a goal of mine. No matter what you hear people say or whatever goes out around about anybody, not just me, but other guys who have been around for a while, you're always learning. And although I'm not gonna go into a show that has all people who don't know what they're doing and act like I'm there to learn from them, because I'm not.
Right.
But I try to put myself in places where there's people around I can learn from. Even guys who are in it less than me, even guys that I might have trained years ago, they've gone out, they've picked up new things and brought them back, and I was able to learn that way. So you're always learning. And that was what I was looking for out of my trip to Europe. I wasn't looking for money. I was looking for a lot of bookings and learning. I wanted to learn that awesome style of wrestling over there because it's very fancy, it's very smooth, and they'll knock your teeth out.
Yeah.
It's an awesome mixture of everything. It doesn't make sense for my character to bring it back here for Blackjack Phoenix, but I love knowing it. Nobody gets to see that, but if you ever saw Blackjack Phoenix in a technical wrestling match, I could do it well. I learned all the reversals, all the holds over there.
Yeah.
The biggest promotion I worked for over there, honestly, we had 10,000 people in the crowd.
Wow.
It was an indie show.
Wow.
10,000 people every day. This guy, Brian Dixon over there, when he ran Butlins, it was called. I don't know if the folks are familiar with this area here in Western New York, but we have up Shirkston Shores
right.
up in Canada. It's like a little beach resort.
Right.
That's all they have over there. They don't go many places. They have little resorts like that. And that's where all the wrestling is every day.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah, and there's like a bunch of different promoters running different ones. So you just pick up with them and you're wrestling twice a day with the ring. It's like 5 wrestlers. Everybody takes turn being a ref. And you just go down. You take up the ring, put it down. Take up the ring, put it down. Just up and down. Doing these shows, that was a great experience. And I made a lot of great friends because I went over there as a professional. I was with a guy who didn't act professional all the time, but I did my best as kind of like a mentor to teach him that you're not just professional in the ring, you're professional out of the ring.
Right.
With the fans, with the promoters, with their families. A lot of the promoters put us up in their own houses. And, when we're with their kids, we play with them. We're like their big brother.
Okay. So with the inspiring wrestlers right now, workers, wrestlers, greenhorns, guys coming up in the business,
like you,
like myself, I'm just now about to hit the 7-year mark.
Oh.
Yeah, cool, right?
Wow.
Get
old.
How do the young wrestlers listening right now, how do they get an opportunity to travel to Europe? How do they get their information over there? How did you do it when you were coming up?
Well, I knew Joey Legend, who had a lot of... He moved over there. He married a German lady, and he stayed over there. And he knew all the promoters over there, so I sent him an email. Now, by being professional and always trying to be courteous and be polite to everybody, I was able to send him an email and say, hey, but I want to tour Europe. Do you have any promoters that you can help me out with? He sent me a list. And when I told them, Joey Legend gave me your email address to contact you about bookings, they looked at it totally differently. So just make those connections, network, get to know people. I know a lot of the promoters over there still. They still beg me to go over there. I haven't been there since Holly was born. 8 years since I've been over there. But they still contact me, hey, can you come over? Can you do this tour? Can you do the winter tour? Can you do the summer tour?
That's awesome.
So if a guy wants to go, expect to pay your own way there. Yeah. Don't expect anything except to learn. And take it. Yeah. Go.
Yeah. Take it as the exposure. But with that being said, it's... Where was I going with that? Oh, wow. I lost my thought.
Because you're old.
I am getting old. I am getting old there.
Welcome to the club.
So let's talk about Riverworks. My question to come back to me soon.
Okay.
But let's talk about Riverworks. Now, you are one of the veterans in the locker room at Riverworks Wrestling, which we are at right now. So tell me what Riverworks is about.
Well, I'll start from the beginning. I ended up moving my wrestling school from Williamsville into Riverworks. Their intention from the beginning was to have a wrestling promotion. Licensing and stuff like that is in New York State. I told them I would work on it because I want to do student showcases for my students. I ended up getting them in touch with the right people. who have the promoters. It's all done under an LLC, ran by a couple great guys, good businessmen. Mm-hmm. And they looked at me as the one in the wrestling business. They're businessmen. I'm a wrestler, so they come to me for a lot of things. They wanted a roster. I told them, you can't just bring anybody in. Mm-hmm. You can't have turds on your show and expect a great product. You got to only bring in the best. That costs money. Mm-hmm. You know, you're not going to get by on a cheap budget and have people really want to come back.
Right.
So I advise them, don't get the wrong people, get the right people. Go to Canada, get those guys, get these guys, get these guys. And really, it was just advising them in the beginning. And then when they tried to, when you put a card together, it can't just be, there's ways to do it. Mm-hmm. To keep the flow going, entertainment, just keep it all where it's got to be. So I advised them on that. And they look at me as like a locker room leader.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Along with you, by the way.
Okay. So Blackjack, what do you look for since you're an advisor, since you help out, the Riverworks staff and committee? What do you look for since you're an advisor? What do you look for in the wrestlers that you're looking to book?
That they know how to bring people back.
Okay.
They know how to work the crowd properly. Mm-hmm. That's the most important thing. I don't know if they know those basics the proper way.
Yeah.
One way of doing things. That's what I want to know.
Okay.
And the rest is from there. I mean, there's other people that are in control of the booking. Mm-hmm. I just let them know who's good.
Right.
Or if they show me, somebody sent some tape, they say, hey, what do you think about this? If I've never seen the guy, I watch it. Okay. I say, well, he doesn't even get up to the right and feed the left, so no.
Okay. There's your music or your applause right there.
It's close enough.
Since we are, on location at Riverworks Restaurant right now, where you can get food, come watch a great show, get some food afterwards.
And the waitresses are super hot.
Waitresses are kind of sexy. I didn't say that because I don't know if my girlfriend listens to this podcast or not.
Just don't let her.
Pretty sure she doesn't, but
What are you new at this? Just don't tell her it happens.
Don't tell her it happens.
Don't tell her you have a podcast. And you don't have to worry about it.
She knows I have a podcast. I'm here.
You ruined it.
So Blackjack, with Riverworks, with us putting Riverworks over last show, great show, might I say. Shane Douglas, amazing.
Great guy.
What do you think the committee for Riverworks has in store coming up? Are you a part of that whole brain trust?
Sort of, yeah. Mm-hmm. When they bring things up, like there's some really big things shaking.
Okay.
That I don't want to. I want them to be able to break that news.
Okay.
So I just feel bad if I broke their big news like an ass. But no, there's some big news coming, and the one thing I do know that's really not going to be a huge announcement is that Shane Douglas. Obviously, he's back in July.
Right.
July 23rd for the Legends Show. I know the Nasty Boys, Jimmy Hart, Leaping Lenny Poffo, and Eric Bischoff are going to be at that July 23rd event.
Wow.
I know that. And the franchise is going to be around quite a bit after that as well.
Very cool. Very cool. Super cool. Well, Blackjack, we truly thank you. I mean, I'm just trying to think of anything else here. Pat G, you got anything for me?
Now, Riverworks Wrestling, the first two shows you guys had, obviously had competition bringing in crowds because, quote unquote, the bands were playing.
Oh, yeah.
Now, for the rest of the summer, you're depending on when you run, your competition's basically everything that's going around Buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
And outside, you have festivals, you have Taste of Buffalo, and so much more. How do you and the powers that be in Riverworks bringing the people for these events?
Well, as you know, it's not something you just set up a tent and expect 1,000 people. Mm-hmm. You build. Just from what I know of the people who work in the social media departments, after the last event, social media blew up. There were, on the Facebook page, there was almost 200 more likes within 24 hours.
Wow.
Twitter jumped the same. Mm-hmm. It was just crazy. Something happened.
Yeah.
I don't know where word got out, but word got out somewhere and it just jumped.
Do you know how to Twitter?
No. Well, it depends. What's your definition of Twitter?
We're going social media Twitter right now.
Yeah, no, I have that, and I type fancy things in there when I got something to say, but, I'm not going to get on there and talk about my personal life or politics or anything.
No, of course not. You shouldn't.
No. But there has been a big jump, so I see a growth.
Yeah.
Personally.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. I do want to mention the elephant in the room. Dirty Rex Atkins is listening. He's just sitting here being quiet. We're just going to acknowledge him. We're not going to ask him any questions or anything.
Well, he used to be a decent guy.
He used to be.
And then he got all dirty, Rex.
He got dirty.
You know, I trained that little son of a bitch.
Nasty. You know what? I did hear about that. Let's talk about that. Because that, you know what? OSPW has been brought up 3 times each week. Each week OSPW.
Well, you just
Rex
brought
Atkins,
it up?
I did. And the reason being is because Dirty Rex Atkins is here. You trained him. Wasn't his first match at OSPW?
Yeah.
Illegally?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, he was
That's
18.
what I heard.
He was 18.
I heard he wasn't 18.
Well, I had nothing to do with that. I just suggested a nice young talent.
We're not even gonna bring him up in it. We're just gonna leave it alone at that.
I know nothing of it.
You know, Blackjack, you want to give us any plugs? Anything where to book you? If you're taking bookings, do you take bookings still?
It depends. If the money's good and it's not that far away, yeah, of course. I'll always bring, what I have to anywhere.
Okay.
I still love it. It's still fun. Mm-hmm. It's just,
you do seminars?
I do. Well, we have the training school. Mm-hmm. If you want to train to wrestle, just there's an email address. If you can throw that, it's wrestling@buffaloriverworks.com. Send an email there, and they forward it to me, and we get the training going. We train 3 days a week. And the classes are really growing. It's a lot of good group of guys.
Yeah, you got it. You know what? I was just here before the interview, and looking at the group of guys that you have here, you honestly have a great group of kids.
There's a lot to grow with there.
Yeah. I mean, you got a great group of kids. I mean, they listen very well.
Oh yeah, because they know I'll smack them if they don't.
Yeah, I mean, and it's amazing how well that they're hungry for this. And typically you'll see a greenhorn, a green guy, trainee come in, they'll come twice and then they'll stop coming.
And that's a good thing because we don't need them then.
Right.
But the only way you're going to make it, you've been doing it for a while now, it hurts.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass. You don't get paid properly. You get stiffed. There's people that are assholes out there. If you don't have some kind of weird love for it or you're stupid like us, you won't make it. You really won't.
Yeah.
So good. If they come twice. Get the shit kicked out of you and leave.
Yeah.
Don't come back. That's fine. Because we don't need you in our business, do we?
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Well, all right. Well, thank you very much. We truly appreciate it. Great interview. I don't know. I'm trying to think of anything else.
June 25th.
June 25th.
The River Rumble.
The River Rumble.
You got to check out the River Rumble. It's pretty much a knockoff of the Royal Rumble. Not very original.
Really?
Not very original.
How?
But it's cheaper. That's for sure. It costs you $15 for a general admission ticket. So not original, but cheaper. And great talent in that.
Great talent in that. You may see the return of Fear Reborn. You don't know yet. I mean, but you have to check that out. And you have to be there to see. Pat G might even get in the ring.
Throw his ass right out.
Yeah, immediately.
Is he going to get in with a Glock? Because he's a gangster?
He's not that type of gangster.
Oh, all right. Different kind? Like an internet gangster?
Yeah, different type of gangster.
All right.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. But before we go, though, talking about the Dirty Rex Atkins?
Yeah.
What are you going to talk about?
I want to tell you about this one particular evening.
Okay.
I was living, a lot of my ex-wife, the mother of my children, she was a wrestler in Canada. Mm-hmm. So when I first married, I was living over there in Canada. That's how I met Rex Atkins. He was this pimply-faced little kid working in an ice cream shop and learning how to wrestle. And there was another.
I haven't heard the story. Yes.
Well, there was another promotion up there at the time that had a wrestling school, and he went and he paid him like $100 Canadian, which is like $50 American at the time. Right. So he went in there, paid him like $100. They beat the shit out of him and never called him back, never let him back in.
Wow.
So he was telling me that story. I was out with an injury at the time, and the owner of the ice cream stand also had a boxing gym. He's an old boxer, so I knew him because I was a boxer before I was a wrestler. Mm-hmm. So I knew him from that world. And I told him how I've been wrestling for years now and this and that. And he goes in and he's like, hey, the kid I got in the back, he wants to wrestle. He went to a wrestling school and they just beat him up and took his money. I was like, oh, yeah, that happens. So this kid comes out. I'll be like, hey, I want to wrestle. So I was like, all right, well, there's a boxing gym there. I guess I'll show you how to wrestle. So I showed him how to wrestle. And one evening, we were in the middle of doing 3 shows back-to-back up in Canada. Mm-hmm. And it was myself, Jimmy Olsen, Brody Lee, and my old tag team partner at the time, Tex. that texts out with his banana fingers. Mm-hmm. I'll never forget it. Well, we have Rex Atkins with us, who's a younger man at this time. So we're all drinking, and we are drunk. And we're on the beach, on Crystal Beach. And Rex loses his shoe, a sock, a cell phone, his pride, his dignity, everything all in once. So now we think we're cool. Now, Brody, he was always very well known in wrestling. Now he's a lot more well known.
Right.
But at the time, these kids come up, and they're talking to us. They're young teenagers, maybe of legal drinking age there in Canada. And they're like, yeah, we guys are wrestlers. And we go, yeah, this here is Rex Atkins, the most vicious wrestler around. They're like, that's not Rex Atkins. He kicked the shit out of some kid outside of a high school yesterday. So he got more publicity than we did for getting in a fight outside of a high school. And then when he woke up the next morning, he was in my dryer. Explain that.
What?
He had my sweatpants on, and he was inside of a dryer. So that is the Rex Atkins embarrassment story of the day.
Listen,
no.
we got to get Rex on the podcast. I mean, he's sitting right here, but he's not going to say anything. We got to get him on the podcast and see if we can confirm the story. Because I'm staring at him and he won't say anything.
He'll lie. I tell you right now, he'll lie. That's a Canadian
That's
thing.
amazing. All right. Well, like you said, Riverworks, June 25th, River Rumble. It's like the Royal Rumble, but cheaper.
And a lot of people don't understand. You could actually go to the bar at Riverworks and buy tickets.
Yeah. And alcohol at the show.
All at the same time.
I told you guys this, But Blackjack, thanks for joining us, man. We truly appreciate it.
Who are you?
Mr. Gabriel Soul.
Thank you for having me on, Mr. Gabriel.
Mr. Crimson Cyclone.
Mrs. Cyclone, thank you very much.
Great interview. I love interviewing people. It's so much fun. But anyway, no, I'm joking. But no, Blackjack is an amazing guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love Blackjack. He's such a cool dude. He's down to earth. Great friend. Mm-hmm. Good wrestler. He helps train at the Riverworks Training Center.
Yep.
I'm there sometimes. Assisting him.
Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Mm-hmm. Right at Riverworks.
Yep. Right there at Riverworks. Ring is set up right there. Get it in. Last night, there was a lot of guys there last night. I was there last night. A lot of guys were there, yeah.
That's good.
Super fun. Yeah. But anyway, now we're going to talk about WWE.
Yeah. Well, because while we were in the terrestrial airwaves, we used to talk WWE a lot. Mm-hmm. Our first couple episodes, we've laid off the WWE for the most part. We've touched on it because last week they made the announcement of SmackDown going live.
Look, I mean, there's been so much independent wrestling that we haven't talked about. So many things going on.
Oh yeah. Plus we were off the airwaves for like a good 6.5 months, whatnot. But we're catching up. It's WWE Talk tonight, on the WWE Network. Currently going on right now is WWE NXT TakeOver The End. A lot of people saying this might be the end of NXT, the end of what? I don't know. But while neither you or me were watching the show right now because we're recording this,
right?
We got the podcast. Let's run down the card a little bit real quick. Predictions, and because we can pretty much watch the show whenever we want.
Well, I can. You don't got the network anymore.
This is true.
I'm blowing spots up. Blowing spots up.
Hey, at least I'm not the one blowing spots this time.
So right now, are we talking TNA? I mean, to NXT?
Yes.
We are?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't watched NXT in a while, so I don't know a lot of the NXT guys.
Well, a lot of the NXT guys have been called up most recently.
Right.
Enzo and Cass. And what, among others. But the NXT roster is still pretty solid. You still have Samoa Joe. You still have Finn Balor. You still have American Alpha. You still have Austin Aries. You have Nakamura.
Oh, now Austin Aries.
Not a fan?
Not really.
Not really?
Not really, especially after he,
Oh.
Anyway.
Experience.
Anyway.
Well, looking at the NXT TakeOver card, You're having the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger, take on Andre Cien Almas. Now, Almas being a newcomer at NXT, coming from his home country of Japan, like Nakamura.
Right.
Another Japanese talent that WWE's brought in to expand their market. Mm-hmm. And especially as Japan is concerned. Facing Ty Dillinger's not really done a lot. He's been part of a couple tag teams, but he's finally out on his own, trying to make a name for himself.
Right.
So, but he's got a big task because Almas coming from Japan, coming from the same culture background as Nakamura. So he's going to have that strong style look, that strong style match in the ring.
Yeah.
It's the thing of, can Ty Dillinger keep up with it?
Of course he can. He's a professional.
Professional?
Professional.
I think it's pretty much. I think Almas is going to win this one because, like I said, Dillinger's just kind of been around the block. I think he's more of a guy in NXT that may just be there to be there. WWE might bring him up to the main roster at some point, especially with the looming brand split.
Right.
And that's a reason why a lot of people think this might be the end of NXT because of the brand split.
Yeah.
But we're not sure.
I'm going to cut you off right there because you talked a lot about this match. We only got like 15 minutes in this last segment. You're killing.
Well, you were looking at your phone and Facebook.
Wow,
I had to carry the show somehow.
You had to carry the show. You could have just went to the next match. Nakamura and Austin Aries. Look at this.
Well,
see? And you want to talk about Ty Dillinger and Amos. You got Austin Aries and Nakamura.
I thought you didn't like Austin
up.
Aries.
I don't like Austin Aries. You're damn right I don't. But Nakamura's a monster beast.
Well, obviously.
We should throw on NXT right now to watch this damn match.
Watch this match be on, too. I would laugh.
But listen, Nakamura and Austin Aries, these two guys. Now, Aries, don't get me wrong. I like Aries as a wrestler. Mm-hmm. He's great. He's freaking phenomenal. Nakamura is the same way. Strong style, phenomenal.
Yeah.
So this match right here is going to be, I honestly believe, off the charts. Not going to say match of the night because I don't know the other matches yet. But I think this match is going to be phenomenal. This is a match you don't want to miss. This is a match you're going to talk about after the show and then watch it this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. So are you taking Nakamura or are you taking Aries?
Nakamura has been on stride right now. Aries, I just don't like Aries. I just don't like him as a person.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Nakamura wins.
Yeah. Now, a match that I was looking forward to.
Of course you were.
Because
Pervert.
Asuka and Nia Jax.
See? Pervert.
Listen.
Listen, Asuka's hot. Don't get me wrong. Asuka, she can get the business.
Okay.
So can Nia Jax. Business. Anyway.
But Nia Jax, when she faced Bayley at NXT London, I saw her as being that next challenger. Asuka is freaking Asuka.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. But it's the thing of Asuka took the NXT Women's Championship from Bayley. She's now defending against Nia Jax.
Right.
This match could maybe even be better than the last couple matches. Because Nia Jax has improved from when she came in day one. And now it's the thing of, do they let Nia Jax take the title and run with it, or do they keep it on Asuka?
I don't know. You got to watch.
Yeah, I would say they're going to keep it on Asuka just because she only won it a couple of months ago. Now, tag team wrestling.
Listen, tag team wrestling, American Alpha versus the Revival.
Dash and Dawson.
I love American Alpha. I do.
A lot of people want Kurt Angle to come back and them be Team Angle 2.0.
No, please don't. Please don't. Please don't. And I'm not saying anything against Angle.
Yeah.
But I just don't want them to be shadowed.
Oh, absolutely.
They'll be overshadowed, and then they'll get the same Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin
treatment. Yeah.
So don't want that. Let them shine the way they're shining right now. Anybody who says, "Oh, bring back Angle," Angle 2.0 would be stupid. That's dumb. They're shining right now on their own athletic ability. Let them do it.
Mm-hmm. Now, in this match, since American Alpha, do you think their main roster ready
for the tag team division?
Yes, that the tag team division right now that Raw has.
Yes, I honestly believe so. They bring in the cutting edge new genre of tag team wrestling.
Okay.
I honestly believe, yes, they are.
All right, so say they drop the titles to the Revival.
Mm-hmm.
Who can, besides, because I know they've been teaming Ciampa and Gargano, besides those two, who can... There's got to be someone out there that WWE can bring in NXT to keep...
Usos. Usos.
Bring the Usos down to NXT?
Yep. Usos. Usos are a hot tag team, and they can put American Alpha over like they should be.
Okay.
Yep.
They can, so kind of like they did with a Zack Ryder, kind of like they did with a Tyson Kidd before the neck injury.
Yep. What Tyson Kidd? Is he coming back?
You know what? Speaking of Tyson Kidd, I know he's still recovering.
Okay.
Because he broke his neck. He did break his neck. I know he had surgery. He is recovering.
Okay.
And then the main event of the evening, champion Samoa Joe taking on Finn Balor.
Samoa Joe.
Joe wins because a lot of people are talking that Balor is ready for the main roster, especially with the whole club.
Balor's going up because the Bullet Club. John Cena called it the Bullet Club. It's the Bullet Club.
Oh, he did?
John called it the Bullet Club.
Oh.
John, you call it the Bullet Club. You already know you call it the Bullet Club. It's the Bullet Club.
It's the Bullet Club.
So, that's NXT.
Yep.
Now we're going into our predictions for Money in the Bank. I love Money in the Bank. I always have loved Money in the Bank. I love playing Money in the Bank on WWE SmackDown video games. Love Money in the Bank matches. Just because there's always that, old moment, and then there's always, it's just, I just honestly believe it's a great match. You get 6 great talented guys in there and they perform for you, and it's a great show. But starting with the first, we only have right now the title matches and the actual Money in the Bank match.
And then of course the match that we just kind of spoke on that they've been building between AJ Styles and John Cena.
Right. That is right. AJ Styles and John Cena. We got that match. I didn't see that match there. Yeah. So first match is United States Match Championship. Rusev versus Titus O'Neil. Who do you got to win this one?
Rusev.
Yeah?
Yeah, I know back a few months ago before an incident, they were kind of trying to build Titus O'Neil. Mm-hmm. But since Titus O'Neil has come back, he's done nothing. He's sitting on a microphone. I know the man can talk.
I'm going to punch you in the face. You keep pounding on this table.
I know Titus O'Neil can talk, but he's not been in the ring.
Right.
So
because they don't want to, and I think that's a good move.
I can't take him as a viable challenger.
I think the reason why they did is because they know he can work. You already know Titus O'Neil can work. He's a big guy. Mm-hmm. So this match being a big guy versus a big guy, Titus O'Neil's going to be the power. Rusev's going to be the power and the speed. With this match, I don't think you need to have Titus O'Neil continue to wrestle because he can. You need to have him speak and have him seen. Mm-hmm. Yes, Titus O'Neil was being groomed for a bigger spot until he got stupid in front of a live audience on a Monday night and grabbed Mr. McMahon after Daniel Bryan retired. Stupid move on his part. But now he's getting his shine back. Now he's getting it back to a point where he's able to recoup from it. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're going to give him the title right now. I don't think he's ready for the title yet.
Rusev still has the ace in the hole.
Yeah, Rusev. pervert.
Sorry. I like she is.
Yeah. Rusev.
She's the ace in the hole for him at times.
Yeah. I don't think he's gonna win yet. Because of course it's all about the chase. All about the chase, baby.
Yeah.
Next match, WWE Tag Team Championship match. We got the New Day. New Day Rocks. New Day Rocks. Versus Enzo and Cass. Versus the Vaudevillains versus the Club. Or as John Cena calls them, the Bullet Club. This right here, I honestly believe since the New Day have broken so many WWE Tag Team title records with holding the titles for so long, I think it's time. And I think they're either going to give it to Enzo and Cass or the Vaudevillains. Because New Day has become face now, huge face, it's time for a heel tag team to...
Yeah, but Enzo and Cass are faces.
Yeah, true.
So it would either be the Vaudevillains or the Club.
However, if Enzo and Cass were to win the titles, that would bring a bigger face in, which would cause the Vaudevillains or the Club to be uber heel, uber bad guys, and feud with them.
This is true. But as I talked, the impeding brand split, a lot of people believe, and I've read minor reports that Vince McMahon himself is slowly considering grooming Cass to be on his own and be one of his big future guys.
Which you should be doing. However, at this moment in time, he's a tag wrestler. His partner, is the mouthpiece and he's the muscle. I mean, this is what you need right now. Continue to build them up that way.
Yeah.
I don't know much about business in the wrestling world. Of course, I'm only a fan, and I haven't been anywhere, and this is all serious. I haven't been anywhere to say I know better than Vince McMahon. I don't. But my personal opinion, if I was running the company, I would say build them up as a tag team, give them the gold, and then... Especially
considering the New Day is the faces that they are.
Right.
So, and Enzo and Cass are over. Mm-hmm. So, like you said, I agree with you. It would make the Vaudevillains or the Club even more heel.
Yep, because they have to now I'm pissed. Now I'm going to destroy you until I get my title shot, and then you give them the titles.
Yeah.
My opinion. Like I said, I'm not a businessman like Vince McMahon, don't get me wrong, and I'm being dead ass serious. But like I said, that's what I would do if I was in the company, if I ran the company.
Well, speaking of the Club, AJ Styles and John Cena. The man who's traveled the world, has been numerous places, won numerous championships. After failing to win the championship. On multiple times, the last twice occasions, is now going against what a lot of fans call the establishment. And the guy, granted, he's not the champion in John Cena.
John Cena is the Hulk Hogan of this day and age.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's just call a spade a spade.
And this is a match that you would have said was going to happen 5 years ago. I would have looked at you and go,
yeah. Like, in all honesty.
Crazy.
In all honesty. I honestly never thought AJ would have left TNA.
Yeah.
But but the podcast that I heard, I believe it was the Jericho podcast.
Yep.
Where, AJ was talking about how, they didn't want to do business with him with his agent. They wanted to try and be his friend and do business. And dude, that's not how we do business.
Yeah.
AJ was about his money and about his wife and his child. So, yeah, same thing. I would have said the same thing. Yo, AJ's going to wrestle John Cena. Get the hell out of here.
Yep.
Don't ever say that again. I'll punch you in the face. Just because it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
But now it's here, and now I don't know what's going on. Do you bury AJ Styles because it's John Cena? Or does John Cena say, all right, kid, it's your time to shine now?
You know what? I know a lot of people are not a fan of John Cena at one point in time. Mm-hmm. And at one point in time, I wasn't. Mm-hmm. I didn't. I'm a fan of John Cena now, the wrestler and the person, because he's gone out and proved he can go in the ring.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of John Cena,
but lately, over the last few years. Granted, yeah, he's taking time off due to injuries and various other projects. The man is willing to put people over.
Yeah, he is. He is. I mean, John Cena is a true workhorse. You know, he's willing to do the job, and he does it right. As long as I think John Cena is the type of guy that, as long as it makes sense.
Yeah,
you know, he's like, let it make sense. I don't care if I have to win or lose, but make it make sense.
It's got to be
a reason behind it.
Yeah, there's got to be a reason for it. It's got to lead to something else. More that's going to make even more sense down the road.
Right. Now, my thing, of course, being in this business, it's got to be said. Do I think John Cena has buried people? Yes, you're damn right.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, you get in this business and somebody doesn't like you, you don't like somebody, I'm going to bury you. You know, it's happened. It's happened in the independent scene. It's going to happen continuously. You know, it's happened in the territory days. You know, I don't like you. All right, dude, let's go out here and have fun. I'm not having fun with you. I'm about to bust you up. So it's happened. But all in all, like I said, I've always been a Cena fan. This match, I honestly believe Cena's going to lose it. AJ needs to continue this stride right now. And if he loses to Cena right now after losing to Roman Reigns, it's going to make him look like
the last two times.
Make him look like a punk.
Yeah. And Cena made a great point. Mm-hmm. And a thing, he debuted in the Rumble and did nothing.
Yep.
He's faced Reigns twice.
Yep.
Came up short. At this point, if John Cena wins this match, what you're trying to build with AJ, Gallows, and Anderson is pretty much going to become dead in the water.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly.
Like, you can get away with the club not winning the tag team titles because it's a 4-way match. Mm-hmm. But in a one-on-one match, AJ needs to win this match. Otherwise, he dead in the water.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm giving it to AJ. That's my prediction for the match. Who did you pick for Rusev and Titus? Titus O'Neil.
Rusev.
Okay. I'm picking Rusev, too. We didn't pick a tag team.
I think we both picked Enzo. We kind of said Enzo and Cass would make them.
Did we?
Yeah.
Okay, cool beans. All right.
Enzo and Cass.
I guess we did. All right.
I believe we're both going AJ Styles.
Both going AJ Styles. World Heavyweight title. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. This is a funny one.
It's a weird dynamic.
And the reason why it's funny is because you know Seth is the champion the people want.
Yes.
However, you know Roman
is the champion they don't want.
It's the champion that they don't want, and they're going to force feed Roman down your throat until you decide to accept
it. And look at the videos that they did this past week.
They rehashed the whole thing.
But the way that they built it, it was like Rollins was the face.
But this is how it was supposed to be before. Before he got hurt. So basically, they just put the story on hiatus and flipped it around.
And what makes it even more interesting is this upcoming Monday is the Ambrose Asylum returns.
Yep. No, that's Thursday. SmackDown.
Thursday? Okay.
Yeah, that's SmackDown.
Yeah. They have the Ambrose Asylum with all former members of the Shield.
Yeah, that's SmackDown. So, yeah.
That's going to be interesting.
I don't know. At this moment in time, I honestly want to give it to Seth. But,
I think Roman, I'm saying Roman hangs on.
Nope. I'm going to say they're going to screw Roman.
They're going to screw Roman?
They're going to bring back this whole story again that Seth is winning and he does something, somebody comes out. Roman loses.
It is the title that he technically never lost.
Yep. Roman loses.
All right. Money in the Bank ladder match. The match that gives the winner a contract for a year's time for an automatic guaranteed shot at the championship. Sami Zayn, Cesaro, Chris Jericho, Dean Ambrose, Kevin Owens, and Alberto Del Rio.
Alberto Del Rio!
Are we auditioning to be Del Rio's personal ring announcer?
Hell yeah.
No?
Hell yeah. Why would I say no to that?
Now, all 6 competitors have been kind of minus Del Rio. the five have been at each other's necks and throats over the last few months.
Right. So I'm going to surgically attack this one.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho's out of it. We already know Chris Jericho's not winning.
Oh, absolutely.
We already know that. Jericho is looking. Let's look at it from a wrestler standpoint. Jericho's too old to climb that ladder. The young guys are going to beat the hell out of him. Mm-hmm. Okay. Right now, I can't even. Alberto Del Rio's out of it as well.
Yeah.
Surgically, Alberto Del Rio is there just to get the personality of the fans because he does the good stuff. That's just one boom, boom. Hey, it's Alberto, and then he's done.
The C.
Yes. Kevin Owens, Dean Ambrose, Cesaro, Sami Zayn. All four of these guys have never had the case.
Nope. Dean Ambrose has been close.
All four. Dean Ambrose is on a freaking tear right now.
He's been on a tear.
Kevin Owens is on a freaking tear right now.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn on a tear right now.
Cesaro's been on a tear since coming back.
They brought him back and they gave him the push that he should have been getting right.
Yeah.
I can't pick somebody on this one. If you forced me to, if you seriously forced me to, Kevin Owens. If you had to force me. That was forced right there.
I'm split.
On?
Between Ambrose and Owens. Because Sami Zayn, I don't think it's his time yet. Cesaro, I see Cesaro as a guy that can win the IC belt and bring a lot more, even more credibility to it because, as history said, the IC belt's kind of been the worker's belt. Cesaro fits that mold. Ambrose, I feel like Ambrose, it's between Ambrose and Owens.
So you're saying Cesaro was the one to bring balance back to the force?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ambrose and Owens, I say Ambrose because currently of what's going on with the world title picture and Rollins and Reigns.
That's true.
Is because now that it revisits that storyline that everybody was dying for 2 years ago.
But you know what? If they do that, it'll be so obvious. If Ambrose wins tonight, if Ambrose wins the main Money in the Bank, and it's before the heavyweight title,
yeah,
he's cashing in on one of his. I say, you know what? Bam, Roman Reigns wins. Ambrose cashes in on him.
Ooh. Well, okay.
And it kills their friendship like they talked about before when they were in the triple threat.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Ambrose wins. That makes a lot of sense.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
And you're sticking to it?
Yeah. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's our predictions.
Yeah.
Next week, we'll find out if we're right or wrong.
Yeah, we'll find out about NXT. We'll find out about Money in the Bank.
We'll have some shows for you this week. There's some shows going on this week. I know
UPW is running Saturday.
UPW is running Saturday.
I believe there's another show or something going downstate.
Yeah. I will be back in the ring soon.
Yes, this is true.
Taking bookings. Gabriel _ at AOL.com. Gabriel Soul. Gabriel _ Soul. I don't even know my own email address.
It's horrible.
I just completely shot the whole. I feel like Pat G. We're on the spot.
That's two.
Bang. Gabriel _ Soul at AOL.com. But that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. That's our show.
Yeah.
We will have results and everything for you next show next week. Until then,
we'll have an interview, hopefully.
Who are we interviewing?
I don't know. We'll have to figure that out.
I don't know. I may have to pull in my bag of tricks.
Yeah.
I may have to bring in a WWE legend.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we might have to do that.
We may have to pull that out the bag, but you never know. Maybe maybe it may get a little funky in here. So we are all set. But again, remember, TTRP is brought to you and sponsored by the Gear Network. the store that's through Amazon. If you visit thegearnetwork.com/Amazon and click on any of the banners and the links there, it takes you directly into your account. You don't have to do anything else. You can just shop the regular way you regularly shop, and everything that you purchase gives us a kickback because Amazon appreciates you clicking on the link through the Gear Network site, and it kicks it back to Gear Network. We can pay for this, beautiful podcast, all the other shows that are brought to you by the Gear Network, Talking Wrestling, Better Live than Dead, Get Ready America, all those great shows. Well, remember, click on the link, give us a kickback. Yeah. Until then, this is Gabriel Soul, Mr. Pat G, the G stands for Gangster, TTRP, Cyclone.
This show is dedicated to the memory of Tom Connolly. He's a mentor from WBNY to both Pat G and many others from BLTD Sports, as well as past and present members of Turnbuckle Talk Radio. Safe home, Tom Connolly. The preceding presentation was brought to you by the Gear Radio Network.